Hey everybody, it's me, Larry, and I am so excited to be here with you today for this extra special Christmassy story time. Are you excited for Christmas? I am too. So, do you want to know what the story is that I'm going to be sharing with you today? You do? Alright, let me grab it. I'm coming. This one's not as heavy. Okay, here I am. So the story that we're going to be reading together today is called Santa Goes Sledding on Christmas Eve. And make sure you stick around for after the story because, you know what? Let me hand it over to Stacey.
Hey there, Larry. Hey there, everybody. I cannot wait to paint with you after the fabulous story. So we are going to be painting Santa. And I got two examples here. They both got slightly different backgrounds. Just the colors. So stick around for after the story. And I can't wait to paint with you.
Now, doesn't that just sound like so much fun? Oh, I can't wait for you to paint that and send me pictures of how it turns out. Now, if you want to go ahead, grab a stuffy, maybe some Christmas cookies, and get comfy, we'll go ahead and get started. Santa Goes Sledding on Christmas Eve. Written by Rox Siles, illustrated by Alice Pieroni. There were just a few days left until Christmas Day. Santa knew the best day of the year was just around the corner. Oh, looky there. He's marking off his calendars so he knows how many days he has till Christmas. That's a really good idea. Each day, the mail carrier elves sorted through thousands of letters arriving from children all over the world. Now that's a lot of letters. Could you imagine getting that many letters? I don't know if I could. I wonder how many elves sort through them. Santa, please bring me a doll, said Sally. She speaks English. Papa Noel, me gustaría tener un robot, por favor. Santa, I would like to have a robot, please, said Miguel. He speaks Spanish. That was fun to say. All right, there's one more language that I gotta speak. Hopefully I can do it. Okay, I can't. I know I can't. Pierre, Noël, je voudrais une trottinette, s'il vous plaît. Santa, I would like a scooter, please, said Jacques. He speaks French. And do any of you speak any of these languages besides English? Any of you speak Spanish or French? I tried speaking the French. I did my best. That's all I can do. The creative elves kept busy at the toy shop. They loved making toys for all the girls and boys. Oh, look at them. They're making so many different kinds of toys. And it looks like they're on a conveyor belt. That's a smart idea. The reindeer spent time training for their Christmas Eve flight. They lifted weights and ran on the treadmill. Oh, look at that one's running. Getting nice and strong. And that one down there is lifting weights with his antlers. That's crazy. My kind of lifted weights is lifting these books up. Do any of you lift weights? Christmas Day was getting closer. Santa, did you check the list twice? Asked Jackson the elf. Don't worry, Jackson. I still have a few days. I'm busy ice fishing right now, said Santa. Instead of checking his list twice, the next day Mrs. Claus asked, Santa, hold on, I can do better, Mrs. Claus voice. Santa, do you know who has been naughty or nice this year? I'll get to it tomorrow, Mrs. Claus. I'm busy building a snowman, Santa replied. Instead of, seeing who's naughty or nice? Oh no! Santa, did you try on your suit to see if it fits? Oh, I'm supposed to whisper that. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Santa, did you try on your suit to see if it fits? Whispered Valerie the elf. Don't worry, Valerie, said Santa. It should fit just right. I'm busy making snow angels right now. So he's been doing so many different things like ice fishing, building snowman, and then making a snow angel instead of checking his list twice? Santa, don't you know Christmas Eve is coming? Christmas Eve soon arrives. I will go sledding before I travel all over the world, thought Santa. Yippee! Santa sledded down from the tallest hills again and again. Okay, Santa, now, I know you want to have fun and everything, but you got a job to do. You don't want to be on your own naughty list, do you? Maybe he does. Ring! It's showtime! The elves yelled with excitement. Oh no! Shouted Santa. He was running late. Can't imagine why. Oh, Santa. That was sarcasm, by the way. Santa hurried home and put on his red suit, but it was too tight. Santa jumped in the sleigh, but he could barely fit in. Well, Santa, maybe you should have gotten your suit fit, and made sure it fit just right. You wouldn't have this problem. Some of the toys fell out as the sleigh took off, and now some kids aren't going to get presents for Christmas? Santa, I know you're busy all year long, but the most important days are the ones coming up to Christmas, especially Christmas Eve. Let's see what happens next. Sally got cold even though her name had been on the nice list. Sally began to cry. Oh, poor Sally. Miguel got a robot, but it only spoke French. Miguel spoke Spanish and couldn't understand it. He felt very confused. Bonjour. Do you know what bonjour means? That's some French I know. It means hello. Can you say bonjour? Bonjour. Jacques got a doll, but he wanted a scooter. What happened, he questioned. Santa had forgotten to check his list twice. Oh, Santa, I don't know what we're going to do with him. Santa barely made it to the last few houses on time. He slid down the chimney too fast and knocked over the cookies and milk. Oh man, those look really good too. The reindeer didn't have time to eat their magic food and started to run out of energy. They dragged Santa's sleigh slowly through the sky. Oh no! Look at their tongues are sticking out because they're tired. That one fell asleep, and that one's about to fall asleep. Santa, how could you forget to give them their magic food? Ah! Finally, the last child on the list saw Santa by the Christmas tree. I probably screamed too. Santa got startled when the boy caught him. They both began to scream. Ah! Ah! Santa! Wake up, Santa! Said Mrs. Claus. Santa slowly opened his eyes and looked into his magic snow globe. It was all just a bad dream, he thought. He saw that all the children were happy playing with their toys. Oh, thank goodness it was only a dream. Did you know it was only a dream? Oh, I was hoping, and I'm glad it was. Could you imagine Santa actually doing all those things before Christmas Eve? Santa also saw his elves and reindeer dancing at the North Pole. Santa and Mrs. Claus joined them by singing carols and celebrating a very Merry Christmas. Oh, that looks like fun. Oh, and look it. This page has all different ways to say Merry Christmas. The end. Let me put the book down. Alright, so what did you think of that story? Were you worried that Santa really was doing all those things and was gonna ruin Christmas? You know what? I was. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this wonderful story time. And I can't wait to read with you again soon. Now, I'm gonna hand it over to Stacey for the painting. I hope you have fun doing that. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much, Larry, for sharing that story. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. And down in the description, I have links where you can learn about that fabulous author, as well as grab your very own copy of the book. And some of you may be wondering, what color paints do I need? Well, I have a list in the description as well for all of the paint supplies you're going to need for this wonderful painting that we are going to be creating together. And down below here, you should also see the list of supplies scrolling by on the bottom of the screen. With that, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be starting with the large brush here. There it is. Now yours might look just like mine, or it might be slightly smaller, slightly bigger. That's okay. Your canvas as well might be slightly different in size. I'm using an 8x10, but you can definitely use an 11x14, 9x12, 16x20, or bigger if you really want to go big. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush. I'm going to tap off the extra water. You know what, let me get my water out of the way here. I'm just noticing that he is blocking Santa. I'm so sorry about that. And the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using, don't mind my messy palettes, but I'm going to be using this green, and I'm going to add just a smidge of yellow to it. Like, not much yellow, just a little corner just on the front. And I'm going to mix it in with the green. And your green might be a little more dark green like up here, or it might be a lighter green like here. You know, I'll just add a little more yellow. I just want it to be a little more like lemon limey. There we go. Now I'm getting it the way I want, and as you can see, I am just feeding that in there. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, my fabulous assistant Finn here, he is attacking my paintbrushes, but he may be joining us. So here we go. Now I'm going to be using nice big marks to cover my canvas. Nice and big. And you might notice some of these little dots on my canvas. A little paint got carried away. But it's still a perfectly good canvas to use, so I'm going to use it. And I like to paint the sides, or the edges as they can be called. Make sure you get down on the bottom. You need to lift the painting up, go for it. And then just go ahead and fill this in until it is completely covered. Now, you might like it to be a little more strokey, where you can see the brush marks like on this one. Add some nice texture to the back there. Or you might want it to be nice and smooth. And to have nice and smooth, you're just going to go straight up and down. Or, if you want to, you can go side to side. And for the streaky, where you can see the marks, you're just gonna kind of do crazy marks all over the place. And then once you have this just how you want it, we gotta let this dry. And then we're gonna be moving on to Santa. So if you wanna go ahead and pause the video once you're done, and then I will see you in the next step. Okay, everybody, so I want to apologize for this part here. I paused to let my background dry, and then when I turned the camera back on, I forgot to turn my microphone back on. So right now I'm just talking about making sure that the canvas is nice and dry, and I tapped it and no paint came off on my fingers, so it is. And now I am grabbing a small brush, and I'm going to be using this to start drawing in some parts of Santa. And right now I'm going to start with that tan color. That's that fleshy skin tone color that's right there. And my brush is a little wet, so if you want to wet your brush. And I got the paint nice and good in there. Looks like I'm wetting it again just a little bit more. Mixing that water in to make this paintbrush work more like a pencil or a pen. And what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to be leaving a little space on the left and the right of the canvas. And Santa's face part is going to be going kind of in the middle. The top part of his head is marking the center of the canvas. So as you can see, I am leaving a little space from the edge. And now I am doing the same thing on the other side, and I'm creating a line. And as you can see, it is curved a little bit, because we want to give the illusion that Santa's head is a little bit round. I'm just adjusting my line here. You can absolutely do the same. Also, feel free to pause at any time during the rest of this video if you need more time than I am giving you. Alright, so next thing I'm doing is I am putting in the bottom line. Now this line will be covered by his mustache, but I want to make sure to give enough room. And I'm making this line more straight because... And then I'm going to go ahead and... It's going to be covered by a mustache. And I connected the two lines. And now I'm going to go ahead and finish on the other side and connect those two lines as well. There we are. I hit pause, so I missed a little step here, but once you have this rectangle in, you're going to go ahead and you're just going to fill it all the way in. I wet my brush as I went along. You can have it be nice and smooth, or you can have some of the brush marks show through, which is perfectly okay. And then once you are to this point, if you want to pause right now and fill that in, and then when you come back, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding some rosiness to Santa. So go ahead, keep adding that in, and then once you're ready, hit the play button and we will go ahead and add the rosiness to Santa. So are you ready to add the rosiness to Santa and get his rosy cheeks in and everything? I am too. Now I'm going to be taking a nice big scoop of that tan color, putting it off to the side, just like I did there. And then I'm going to add just a teeny tiny amount. I'm using my medium brush still. And I'm going to mix a teeny tiny amount of red with the tan, and it's going to give me this nice rosy color. Let's see how it looks. I'm going to add it to the sides. You know what? I feel like Santa could be a little rosier, so I'm going to add another little bit. Now, it's always better to start small, with small amounts of red, because it's hard to go back if you add too much red. There we go. There it is. I feel like this color is going to be great. Oh yeah, there we go. So I'm adding the rosiness to the sides and along here as well, towards the bottom. And you can go side to side, up and down, back and forth. You can also see how I'm kind of dabbing it here. And I dab it a little bit so you get a little stippling. Kind of like that. I'll do the same thing on the other side. And bring it around. And down like that. Bring it over. Refill as I need to. And just kind of bring it closer to the center of his face. And then I'll go ahead and do the same little dabbing. Now as you're going along here, if you feel like you've added too much red, you can, or the rosy color I should call it, you can always rinse your brush out, dry it off. I'm using a paint rag, but a paper towel works just as well. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some regular tan all by itself. And then you can go back in here and kind of mix it in. I feel like it got a little too rosy. I'll do it on the other side too, just to make sure. There we go. Alright, I'm liking that a lot. And the next thing I'm going to do, once you are ready, join me. I'm going to use that same brush, and I'm going to go ahead on the left and the right. I'm going to go ahead and give Santa some rosy cheeks. And then just kind of have it fade down a little bit. Going to add just a little bit of that tan color in here and blend it on the canvas. And then I'm going to leave Santa's cheeks right there, nice and rosy. Same thing on this side. I'm going to do my best to make them even. There we go. And then I'll bring it down. I'll add a little more of that tan color in here. Make it nice and rosy. Right now I'm just going in and I'm stippling, so dabbing just a little bit of the tan color by itself. The same thing on this side. There we go. Now on the example right here, you can see there's some white. I'm going to wait and hold off on that. So don't worry about that yet. And then once you are done with this, we are going to move on to putting in Santa's eyes and his nose. And for his eyes and his nose, I'm going to use the small brush again. I'm going to go ahead and after I rinsed it out nicely, I'm going to wet it again and mix a little water in with my black. Like so. And now his nose is going to be going kind of up towards the top here, and it's almost like a rainbow shape. I'm going to start on one side. Let's go nice and lightly to the other. And I will go ahead so I make it a little more even. There we go. Now I wasn't pressing very hard. So if you got a really thick line and you're not happy with it, you can let it dry and paint over it. But there we go, Santa's nose. And then on each side, I'm gonna make 2 circles. Bloop. Bloop. And they kind of look like Mickey ears, don't they? And then adjust as needed. And then fill them in. And there I have my nose and my 2 eyes for Santa. And then once you are ready, when you're ready to unpause, you can join me and we're going to start putting in Santa's hat. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, so for the hat, I got my small brush again, and I wet it. I'll put a little more water on there. And I'm going to mix some water in with some white. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead on the sides here, and I'm going to make 2 kind of curved lines. Now I'm not going to make them too big. As you can see, I kept them a little small because I want to make sure I have room for his hat. Do the same thing on the other side. Bloop. And I'm going to go ahead, follow that curve. It's going to kind of match his face. And I'll come down here. And voila! And there I have the fuzzy part of Santa's hat. And the next thing I'm going to do, now you can definitely use white, but I'm going to use red. And so I rinsed my brush out, got it a little wet, and mix a little red in. Make sure you can see me mixing it, right? And twirl some of that red in. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the red part of Santa's hat. Now we're not going to worry about the little ball, the little tassel thing on the end of Santa's hat yet. Because we're going to have to make sure that the red dries. What I'm going to do is I'm going to not have it match up completely with the edge of the white part. I'm going to put it in slightly. Then I'm going to go ahead and swoop it. As you can see, it's not perfectly filled in. That's okay, because we will do that in the next step. We will fill it in nicely. So as you can see, I started on the edge here, left a little gap. And then I swooped around. And grab some more red. I'm going to do the same thing over here, leave a little space from the edge here to where the red part starts. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of swoop. And then I'm going to curve. And voila! Look at that, I got Santa's hat in. And I'm gonna fill it in with red. And the small brush is gonna be a little too small, so I'm gonna use that medium brush again. I like to kind of pound my brush on the bottom of the water cup to get all that extra paint out. Dry it a little bit. So you know what? I'm gonna wet it again because I want to mix some water in with the red so we can get this gliding nice and smooth. Voila! Oh, there's a little too much water in there. That can happen to anybody. And I'm gonna go ahead and just fill this in. If you go over that white line a little bit, that's okay, don't worry about it. Have it filled in nice and good here. And while it's still wet, I'm gonna, from the side of the white, I'm gonna grab some white here. So I'm not gonna go from the middle, I'm gonna go from the edge. That way I always have clean white to work with. It's gonna turn a little pink. I'm just gonna mix it together on the plate here real quick. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add, there we go, some highlights. And when I do the highlights, I'm just following the shape of the hat. And if you go too far with the pink, you can always grab some more red and bring some red back in. And once you are happy with the hat, we're going to go ahead and start putting in the beard and the mustache. Very excited. Okay, everybody, so for the beard and the mustache, I'm going to use my small brush again. I'm going to go ahead, rinse it out really good. Get the extra water off because I don't want it to drip again like it did before. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some white. And now for his mustache, we're going to start there first. So I'm going to go into his face a little bit and I'm going to make a little dot. And that's going to be my starting point. Can't see it too well. I got the little dot right there. And from the dot, I'm going to continue to use the white paint. Mix some water in if you need to. And I'm going to kind of swoop up a little, swoop down. And I want Santa's beard, or mustache wear, I should say, kind of get really close to his hat. Now on this one, it did not, so if that happens to you too, that's perfectly okay. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Swoop it up and down. And then come around and get it close to Santa's hat. I'll make that line a little nicer so you can see it better. There we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and same thing, I'm going to go on the bottom here and I'm going to swoop. And then I'm going to connect it like so. You know what? Let's see, what do I want to do here? So I got this like that. I'm actually going to adjust something. So I'm going to have the bottom part of, or the top part of the mustache start there instead. So I made a slight adjustment. So I have that line starting here instead of connecting over here. So I want his mustache to be nice and full. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Swoop down. Connect. Nice full mustache. And then I'll do the same thing over here. Just going to make that stand out a little better. I'm going to have this start here and then curve into there. Then if you want to go ahead and fill it in with white, go ahead and fill it in. Actually, fill it in with white, because we need to, right? Yes, we do. You can use your small and your medium brush for this. I'm just making sure to get all the red out of my medium brush. Grab some white. And then I'm going to fill it in. And I'm going to have the marks follow the shape of the mustache outlines. You can definitely add a second coat if you need to. I got one side done and now I'm going to loop over here as well. Fill it in over here. Bring it back down over this way. And I'm also going to go over those outlines just so it looks like everything's connected. Because sometimes when you paint here and then you leave, you don't connect it to the outline, it shows. Sometimes it helps to go blue. Same thing down here. Bloop. Bloop. And look at Santa's. He's coming in nicely, isn't he? Starting to look like him. Okay, so I'm going to leave the mustache for a minute. And I'm going to use my medium brush. I got it a little wet, mixing it in with the water in with some white. And then Santa's beard is going to kind of come off the edge here and here. And now if you look at the example, the marks are going up and down, and they curve a little bit because we want Santa's beard to look really full. Because he usually has a really full bushy beard, doesn't he? And I'm going to bring it as close to as close to the beard as possible. And you don't have to fill in there. We're going to do something special. I'm going to lift this up a little bit, put it on the edge so I can get to the bottom. Following those marks, just joop, 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 joop. Joop, 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 joop. Joop, joop, joop. And I'm just going to keep doing this. Going kind of flat, like more up and down in the middle, and then kind of more curved to the left on the left side, curved to the right on the right side. Getting it as close to that mustache as I can. Perfect. Bloop, bloop. Okay. And then once you are done putting in the base coat for the beard and the mustache, continue on with this white and fill in the brim of Santa's hat. And it's going to go right down and touch his face. Ooh. You know what? I'm going to put that back that way. Getting a little crazy with my painting here. I am getting so excited for Christmas. I don't know about you. Have you all seen Santa already and told him what you want? What is the number one thing you want for Christmas this year? Ooh, that sounds fun. Santa actually made me an honorary elf a few years ago. I'm going to put a picture up now of me and Santa together, and that's when he made me his honorary elf. Yes, my hair is a different color. It was fun being that color for a little bit. There we go. So I got this filled in here, this filled in here. And now you can make your tassel really crazy and kind of spiky here. Or, like on this one, you can just have it be a little more subtle. And I am going to make mine a little more subtle. I kind of like where it's more like a cotton ball. I'm going to grab some more white. I'm going to get it a little wet again. It's starting to dry out a little bit. And then around here, I'm just going to go ahead and make some squiggles to make it poofy. It's not going to be a perfect circle. Then I'm definitely going to add another coat in there. While we're waiting for that to dry, we're getting so close to being done. I'm so excited. I'm going to take some of that white, and I'm going to use my small brush. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give those highlights on his cheeks. He looks like he's having a good time, doesn't he? I'm gonna give a little white highlight on his nose. Go over the black a little bit, that's okay. And now this is one of my favorite things to do. I like to use the back of my paintbrush. I dipped it in white. And I'm gonna make a dot. And another dot to get those nice little highlights on Santa's eyes. And they turn out so nice that way. Okay, so are we ready for what to do next? And then I'm gonna take just the teeniest amount of black. I'll use my small brush and just get a little dab in there. And I'm gonna mix it together to get a gray. And now this gray is gonna be really nice for his beard part, because you can add in some nice little shadows of the beard. You can do it here for his mustache too. Swirl it around, bring it in. If you go too far with the gray, you can always go back in with some white. You can go back and forth with the colors. So I'm going to do like the swirlies for the beard and then, or for the mustache, and then do some nice little kind of like whoops, whoop, whoop for the beard. You can also use white as well to make some of those whoops. Sometimes it's fun to have the gray on there and then you add a little white over it, get a little layering. Because again, Santa's beard is very, very fluffy. You ever wonder how long it takes Santa to get ready on Christmas Eve before he heads out? Like in the book, how many days does he need to like check his list twice? Use naughty or nice. Get his suit fitted. Sure, that all takes a while. Especially, he has to make sure his elves are doing their jobs. Reindeer are fit and ready to go. I wonder, too, what Mrs. Claus has to do, what her big job is. I'm sure she has a lot of jobs. Making sure Santa's doing his, the elves are doing theirs. That was my kitty Finn. And my other cat Bubby, I think they're playing together. They get a little crazy. And now I'm going to go in with my medium brush again. I feel like it needs it. There we go. Get variation in the brush sizes. So some are fatter, some are skinnier. And then add some gray like that. Ooh, yeah. I'm going to bring a little white back into his mustache. You know what? I must ask you a question. We're going to shave it for later. You know what? My ball up here on his hat, I just want to add another layer to make it a little brighter. You can already see the difference. Look at that. Just like that. There we go. Add a little more white to here. And then once you are done down here with the beard, I'm going to use that same gray, and I'm just going to kind of dab in some shading. Like so. You can even dab in some white and help blend it a little bit. You get a little crazy and some kind that goes into his face, that's okay. Just means his hat is extra fuzzy. I'll do the same thing up here too for a little tassel. Mix a little more gray together. Ran out. If you run out, you can always mix more as well. I'm just gonna do. Dabby, dabby, dabby. Dab, 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 dab. Yeah, I'm liking that. We'll get a little more up here. Add a little more white. Now I haven't been rinsing my brush out, but if you feel like you need to, definitely go for it. I'm just adding a little more to the beard down here. But you do not have to. All right, so once you are to this point, we only have a couple more steps left. Isn't that crazy? But one thing we're missing right now is Santa's lower lip. So I'm gonna grab some of that red, small brush, kind of make, here we go, a smiley face. And then I'm gonna fill in between his mustache. Definitely outlining it first, like so. And then I'll go ahead and fill it in. And then once you are ready, you want to pause me right now if you need to, go ahead. We have one more step now. Actually two, I apologize. I'm going to let the red dry and then we're going to add a nice little highlight right there. Just like that one. But with the small brush, I'm going to wet some black paint. Mix it in there like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and I am going to outline everything. I'm going to go ahead, I'll start here. Now I'm not pressing very hard. The lighter the better. There we go. I'm gonna outline his beard or his mustache. Wanting to call his mustache his beard. How silly of me. Bloop. Same thing over here. Not pressing very hard. That's starting to come in nice, isn't it? Like so. Like so. And this time I'm going to start over here. Swirl around and then do the nice swirl on his mustache. This one's a little thicker. You might have thicker lines on one side and thinner on the other. That's okay. Then we'll do his hat. Then my hat got a little bigger, so it's going to go off the edge a little bit. It's okay. It's more of Santa to enjoy, right? There we go. Do this side as well. A little inside part there. Go ahead and adjust this line. There we go. And then for the little tassel ball on the end of his hat and then the rim of his hat, I'm going to go ahead and do kind of like little squiggles to make it appear fuzzy. Santa's definitely staying warm, isn't he? I would think you would need a super warm suit. Fly all over the world. In some places it's really, really cold. Although in such places like Australia, it's summer there right now. So if you are watching this from Australia, I hope you are enjoying your summer. There you go, I got the fuzzy part of his hat there. Now I'm going to get the fuzz ball. And two just going to kind of go fuzzy. Make sure I get the lip. And now for his lip, for the white highlight, I rinsed my white brush out. And I am just gonna go do a little flick here. 1, 2, 3, flick. Like so. And voila! There he is! Doesn't he look great? Now, I would definitely love to see yours when they are done, so if it's okay with a parent, if they could send me one on Instagram, that would be fabulous. Otherwise, on the channel here, I have my email address posted too. Now, I hope you hang these, maybe leave them out for Santa to see. I think he would really like that. And next time, I look forward to reading along with you and painting with you again. Bye!